Rural and urban Canadians can have a very different understanding and outlook on life, often divided along political lines. Hunting could be the experience that will unite us. It was a beautiful day for a ride, and just outside the city was a gun show. Ten, yeah, thank you.
No problem. Once you've seen everything here,
Yeah.
you go through that entrance there,
Okay,
and you'll see a lot more.
thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
You hunt waterfowl at all?
No, I haven't been hunting. I'm just looking at this. The branding is pretty interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah,
In a good way?
police, firefighter, duty calls, and then it's got that stencil, the stencil font.
You know, that's very specific in its branding.
Okay.
You know, right? People that shoot guns, not everyone likes guns. We're more of a first responder theme, so try to be all inclusive to that, to firefighters, paramedics, police officers, military.
It took me an embarrassingly long amount of time to make the Jolly Roger connection. It's a pirate flag. Later, I learned that sales had to be gun-related.
At a gun show, you can only sell gun-related items.
Did the coffee need to look intimidating enough to be accepted at the gun show?
Veterans. So we tried to incorporate that as best as we could into one logo.
Yep.
Yep. So we had some fun with it. Yep. But definitely, I would help yourself to a cup of coffee.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll have a little bit. Thank you.
You bet.
I got lots of good stuff for you.
There's a lot here. It's more than I've seen in my whole life, for sure. I don't even know what this is. I'm trying to look at all this and figure out.
This is a reloading press. This is the die set. This is put shit in here and you fold your brass in and it vibrates and polishes it.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the micrometer, but I didn't know about the rest. So.
These are dies. For reloading.
I just got here, I'm going to do a tour.
You put your shells in there and they resize the bullet and put the bullet in.
Oh, okay.
Color and all that good stuff.
All right. Well,
That's it up on top
I got
of here,
asked,
eh?
why do you need to resize a bullet? They're one size and they fit in the gun, and that's
Now,
that.
once you shoot it, you reload it, though, eh?
There were a few tables with equipment to make shots. It's a hobby in and of itself.
To reload the bullet.
Okay.
That's going to shoot
You know, instead of buying your bullets, just keep the brass and reload them. You see lots of that stuff around here.
I am really new to this. Thank you.
Yeah. These are old shotgun loaders, and they had paper cartridges. You put the cartridge in like that, and you roll it to close it up again. That's what these are.
Okay.
These are for putting the primer in. Stick it in there and you push the primer in.
I hear about people shooting prairie dogs
Yes.
with 22.
Yeah.
What size of gun is that? Because those look like they're way too
They're
small
very
for any
small.
of these.
Yeah, none of these. This is a 22 caliber air gun.
Okay.
So it would be a rifle probably about this big.
Okay.
Chances are, and either single shot, semi-auto, lever action, bolt action sort of thing.
Yeah, I saw 303, and
Yeah.
well, that's not the right one. But
No.
I wonder what is.
No, it's
Okay.
totally different. It would be overkill to shoot one of those at a prairie dog.
There are local associations if you want to dress up like it's the 1800s and have a shooting competition.
That's a 721 Remington.
Okay.
It's only fired about 4 shots.
Is that a kill cam?
How are ya?
Good.
Good.
Did you find the suckers over there?
That can? Oh, maybe we'll wait on that
We got
one.
stickers.
Well, then there you go.
Okay.
But you gotta take a can if it takes. Do you need to renew your membership today?
No, I don't have a membership.
Why?
Because I've never heard of this before.
Okay. Take one of these little information booklets.
I did. I grabbed one. Yeah.
Did he
I
give
got
you
a
this-
card. I
Did he
got
give you our
a.
spiel?
No.
Okay.
No, I've just
So,
been looking.
Never heard of us before. Back in 2020, the government, by order in council, banned over 1,500 different firearms, stroke of a pen. Just said, no, you can't have it. Right? Well, that made 2.2 million Canadians criminals overnight. right? Because most of us had something on that list,
Right.
right? You can't take it out. It can't come out of your safe. It's bad to have, right? We've had them for 3 years now. Nothing's happened. Right?
I know there's been drones carrying handguns over the
That
border
was
from the
funny.
States.
That was funny.
But that's
right?
not legal
No,
gun owners.
That's not legal handgun owners. So what you get with our membership, what you get is a $5 million primary liability insurance. So if you're out hunting, shooting in the back 40, plinking gophers, whatever, you get a ricochet, a pass through, something happens, an accidental discharge, right? Hits something that it shouldn't hit. A cow, a horse, somebody's truck, right?
Right.
You're covered under that $5 million primary liability before it touches your home insurance or your life insurance. You're already, even just you and a spouse, you're already saving money, right? You start adding kids onto that, especially you start taking young kids out and teaching them firearms, right? Young kids are the worst for just turning, right?
Yep.
It happens. Right? And if you've ever heard horror stories about somebody catching a ricochet and shooting a cow or a bull or a horse, that's the most expensive animal you'll ever buy. It gets super expensive.
Yeah.
Right? The other thing that we offer a legal services bundle here, which is a lawyer on standby, 24/7, 365 for any legal questions. That doesn't have to be firearms related. Divorce, property disputes, mechanic ripped you off, right? Your neighbor's building onto your property and you're trying to figure it out. There's a big argument. They can tell you where you stand, what you're legally allowed to do. Okay? Online, we offer a legal defense package. It's right around $100 a year. And if you get charged with unsafe storage, unsafe transportation, things like that, they will actually come and fight for you.
Okay. Is that the main reason why it was done? Was like you said, when all the gun owners became illegal in some way, right?
Right.
And legal defense is a big part of what you do. Police and guns, that's a big thing. So why would police go after gun owners? Wouldn't police also, I mean, they're gun owners, they like guns too.
90% of law enforcement that I've spoken to, 100% supports what the CCFR is doing. 90% of law enforcement that I've talked to have bought a CCFR membership, okay, because they have firearms.
Right.
What we're seeing is the up-and-comers, like the RCMP is a perfect example. There's all one training, right? RCMP Canada-wide all get trained
Out
in
of
one
Regina,
spot.
yeah.
Regina. They all get the same training, right? We're finding that a lot of them now, the last couple of years, have been coming out of Regina going, we're not so sure that civilians should own firearms.
Okay.
We're also seeing that guys that have been in there for 6, 7, 10 years, 20 years are going, we're not coming to your door. They didn't give them to the RCMP or the government.
Got it. It was just a nice gift.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So, it's the same as we look at our schools now, right? Like, my son last year near the end of the school year was taught in his health class the wheel of power.
Conversation about gender seemed to just come out of nowhere, but then I remembered.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show. And see if she likes the goods.
I know a sound that all men love.
And because
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, look it up. Because he's a white male who lives in a house, not an apartment, and he's in Canada, he automatically is at this level of status in the country.
Okay.
Whereas somebody who lives in an apartment is down here. Okay? Somebody who lives with their parents in their grandparents' house is down here. Right? So he has that much more status over these people, so he should always let them do things first before he does them.
We get gold stars when we master the material covered in class. How do we get gold stars if we just have recess?
What are these black dots here?
They're merits.
What kind of a sick school is this?
I understand how the wheel of privilege and power could be viewed competitively and negatively. After reading the wheel, it looks more like a repackaging of the ideas in comedy of punching up and punching down. Comedian George Carlin comes to mind.
But his targets are underdogs. And comedy traditionally has picked on people in power, people who abuse their power. Women and gays and immigrants are kind of, to my way of thinking, underdogs.
The wheel is an educational starting point to help kids understand and have empathy for other people. I was unable to find examples of competitive assignments. There were reading, writing, poetry assignments. Toronto teachers have a toolkit, but it urges teachers not to formally test or evaluate their students, to encourage active and authentic participation. I anticipated reading new information in the Saskatchewan grade 10 curriculum. Fortunately, my province of Saskatchewan still uses a curriculum from 2012, so I didn't have much to catch up on. In fact, the core curriculum references a gender equity document from 1991.
And that's what they're trying to say is, you're more privileged, so you should give to the less privileged.
I've got 2 kids in school. My kids are 8 and 10.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've seen the Wheel of Power or not, but what grade is that?
That was grade 10.
Grade 10? Okay. So my kids have a few more years.
Might have been Wheel of Privilege. One of those 2.
That's neat. I should look it up because it's coming. My kids have a few years, and then I guess that'd be...
We know a grade 3 teacher in Regina who the grade 8 class, the grade 7 class, came and talked to them about identifying your gender.
Okay.
And that they're grade 3 kids.
Grade 2-3 split.
2-3 split. And they're talking to them about sexuality and making choices on your gender and...
Like, this is not...
Like, it's one thing to make that decision and to make that choice in your life to live that lifestyle. That's fine. But should we be teaching that to grade 2 and 3 kids? I mean, they don't even... Most of them don't. 99% of them don't even know what those parts are for.
No, I definitely agree about that. I don't know if most adults understand gender. There's still a lot of misunderstanding about that.
100%. Right?
I don't know what the right age is for grade 3, so they're about 8 years old. I like the idea of teaching kids everything, but at the same time, they can only understand so much at certain ages. So at 8, it would be oversimplified.
There's bits and pieces that can be given each year.
A little bit, yeah. But the whole thing doesn't make sense until much later.
Right. There's a lot that I don't understand going on in this world, right? Like, I'm not gonna... There's a lot that I don't get.
There's some things where you just have to go, well, to each their own.
If it makes you happy,
yeah,
you do you. But guess what? This makes me happy. So let me do me.
This is your expression of yourself.
Yeah.
This is your not a gender identity, but...
Well, so... It's funny,
Yeah.
I used to work for a company, right? Well, part of the forms that we fill out is how do you identify? What? Why are we asking about how I identify? How do you want to be addressed?
Oh, well, whatever your name is.
Well, I put a sticker on my hard hat that said Ammosexual.
Ammo.
Got a lot of attention. Not always good. Whatever. That's how I identify. That's what makes me happy.
Yep.
Whole other side.
One gun, 2 gun, red gun, blue gun. A different Dr. Seuss.
So we are promoting our Olympic style shooting program. So you just want to have a look.
Yeah, I do want to have a look.
Yeah.
Okay, you're still new here. You take up cross-country skiing.
So our ancestors were from Middle East.
Saw recently, it was on the internet.
Hello.
Hi. So that was Connie? Can I show you a hands-free gun snipe?
Sure. Sure, absolutely.
Okay, you know how to use the sling and how uncomfortable and heavy your gun becomes on long walks? Now the weight of the gun is supported from your belt, along your back, to the top of your shoulder. So when you go out for long walks, you're not going to be affected quite as much. I drop what's in my hands and I lift the gun into shooting position.
Right.
Okay, give it a try. Put your arm there.
Sure.
Put your hand in here, go for a walk. And then you just simply lift the gun into shooting position. Snug them up.
It's nice and easy. Yep. There are unrelated objects on the table. There are some Japanese World War II water canteens, British medals, Canadian medals, and German medals. Some of these medals we cannot see. If you can read between the lines, it's not hard to see. Fun fact, totally legal in Canada. The Montreal Holocaust Museum does not accept these German medals as donation. I saw a sword hanger and I thought, that's different.
Yeah.
I looked up and there's a sword behind you.
Yes.
It's huge.
Very rare.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else has a sword here.
British pattern, 1885. Cavalry trooper's sword. But what makes it interesting is the units. So Princess Louise Dragoons, Royal Canadian Artillery, Lord's Strathcona Horse were all issued this.
Okay.
So every time it was issued, and then it was reissued, like they put a line through that.
Yep.
So the last guys that had it was the Strats.
So British, but also issued to Canadians.
British pattern.
Yeah, okay.
But, yeah, issued in Canada.
Not the Northwest Mounted Police, though.
No.
I was wondering if that was something they'd have, but no.
No, they weren't issued these.
140 years old almost?
Yeah.
That's, yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see just how heavy it is.
No, pull it out.
It's
feel free.
Pull it out and play with the sword.
It ain't gonna hurt it. The sad part is, they actually used it in World War I against the Germans. They had a cavalry attack.
I thought it would be way heavier. I thought you'd hand it to me and I'd just kind of drop a little. I'm not sword shopping, unfortunately, but that is really nice. And it's definitely unique here. There's a few things like that. Telescope, too.
Yeah, Sherman tank, 76 millimeter, M1A2.
I'm just looking. It's just a curiosity here because I saw the tube in the center, and yeah, the other ones have that
This
too.
is what they're currently dropping on the Russians.
Just hold it with one hand, turn the crank with the other hand, aim it at the cards down here.
It's a Gatling gun.
Yeah, it's an old style Gatling gun. Holds up to 20 rubber bands at a time. Fires like a machine gun. Turn the crank.
Thank you.
You're welcome. They come with a...
And it says puzzles too.
Yes, we actually have a lot more items that we only at a gun show. You can only sell gun-related items.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, sir. Looking for you.
Hi.
And I keep bumping into people I know. Been talking to like 10 people this morning already. So
I don't even know what these are.
that's a spike bayonet.
These are the Magnum.
Locks onto the end of the barrel, and it's literally just a steel
and
spike.
The end of it comes
It's
off.
literally, back in the 80s, you buy these for $2 a piece. Guys used them for tent pegs. So I was going to ask you, do you have your PAL yet? Your possession acquisition license?
No, I've got to look into license.
Well, step number 1, they've got the course here. You should sign up for that because it'll be your PAL and you'll need your hunter safety as well because you've never had a hunting license before, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So you need both. That is step 1. And then step 2, and she'll sign you up.
Okay.
It's a few $100. Their range is you go about 5 miles northeast on 41, and then you go straight east a couple of miles, and that's where their outdoor ranges are. And we can go out to the range anytime. I've got nice 22s bolt action, magazine fed with a nice little scope. Learn to shoot with iron open sights first is better.
Okay.
Then you're not. Guys that learn to shoot on a scope, you can't shoot anything else. Anyway.
Yeah, it would be a good time.
I've got about 40 rifles in my collection right now, so.
Lots.
Yeah. We'll go to the range and I'll just get you going on a 22 and then maybe an SKS. And
this is good. You're definitely the right person to talk to. I thought that. I mean, I can get into this, but on my own seems kind of lost.
Well, I mean, I grew up on the farm with 22s, and then when I was in cadets, when I was 13, we got lots of range training, and we still shot Enfield number 7s, which is this, but in 22 long rifle. We had competition Anschutz 22s. You go to summer camp in the summertime, you do lots of range time, and you actually have Reg Force NCOs that would volunteer at the cadet camps for the summer. So when you got instruction, you got good training, right?
Right.
So you know how you get to Carnegie Hall, right? Practice. Even myself, I got to get some range time in.
You're out of practice a bit.
I had no range time, went hunting. I mean, I can still shoot okay, but not as good.
Unlike the US, Canada does not have a Second Amendment to grant its citizens the right to own a gun. Training and police background checks are required. Please check out the links in the video description for info on Canada's Criminal Code, PAL firearm requirements, news and more. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to see future videos.